Hello there, a lovely and warm welcome to Hope Channel Zambia. It's now time for the news. Let's take a look at stories making headlines in our news. Today, government committed to economic and social transformation agenda. Public health experts spend time with marketeers to commemorate Food Safety Day. Expired goods and alcohol confiscated from illegal traders destroyed. North Zambia to continue operating as a feud. These stories plus more coming up shortly. To stay with us.
My wife, bumper harvest. Eh?
Daddy,
I'm telling you.
your new fertilizer. Niamini.
Eh?
Iye daddy
Tell you.
Hello. My instructions. Maya kunkabuno bwino mwamene.
I went to ETG, and now we are enjoying the benefits of using a blended D-compound fertilizer as basil and Kynoplast as top-dressing fertilizer instead of urea that we used last year. Now look here. This year, it has given me 4 tons. 4 tons. But last year, it was only 1.8 tons. Kynoplast has given all my crops the nitrogen that I paid for. Wow. It has saved me money. Telling you.
Understanding the difference between soil and crop-specific fertilizers, therein lies strength for Kynoplast blended fertilizers. More value in a bag. Available in the ETG depots countrywide, with a network providing agronomy services to farmers across the country. Kynoplast. Enhanced efficiency through innovation. A product of ETG.
Thank you so much for staying with us. I'm Bright SINKOZI with the news in detail. My sign language interpreter is SHARON AKUFUNA. Government says it will remain committed to economic and social transformation agenda in promoting investments in diverse sectors of the economy such as agriculture, energy, mining, infrastructure, tourism and ICT. Speaking during the 16th Business Forum, Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chupo Kamurenga said government is aware that green investments are key sustainable development in the country. Mr. Mlenga says there is need to ensure that today's economic activities do not negatively affect the ability of the future generations in creating wealth. He said Zambia established multi-facility economic zones and industrial parks with a view of attracting local and foreign investment to increase value addition and propel Zambia's industrialization and economic transformation anchored on Zambia's blueprint development agenda. And African Continental Free Trade Area Secretary General Wamkele Mene said COMESA and SADC need to work hand in hand in improving sustainability in the African continent. Mr. Mene says Africa needs to sustain itself in all sectors to avoid the experiences which occurred during the global health pandemic.
In the words of His Excellency, my President, President Hakainde Hichilema, conflict in any region is conflict everywhere else. So my dear brothers, ministers, I'm very much aware that most of us here are trade ministers, with a few foreign affairs ministers. But we should impress it on our colleagues responsible for restoring peace, other than ourselves, that peace is restored completely in its entirety here in Africa if we are to trade with each other in a better way. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, our goal as a continent is to overcome barriers that hinder investment and trade within Africa. We cannot accept the persistence of high poverty levels and youth unemployment when our continent is endowed with immense...
And to ensure that Africa not only is resilient in the face of this crisis, but also is establishing sustainable supply chain networks for the future. This will require that all regions of the African continent, COMESA, the East African Community, SADC, ECOWAS, and others that work together under the framework of the AFCFTA to ensure greater trade flows within Africa, greater flows of investment within Africa, to move beyond the current 4% intra-Africa investment, and to invest in these value chains that will ensure the sustainability of Africa. The continent witnessed its worst recessions as a result of the pandemic in the year 2020, when real GDP declined by 1%.
Exports of food from the region also recorded a year-on-year increase of 15% from $19.6 billion in 2020 to $22.5 billion in 2021. The value of intra-COMESA total exports increased by 28% from $10 billion in 2020 to $13 billion in 2021. This is a positive sign for the COMESA region, especially in view of the policy of enhancing promotion of regional value chains. This indeed underpins one of the reasons that we are organizing this forum. Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, to increase intra-COMESA trade, there is need for public-private sector partnership. As the COMESA Secretariat, we are happy to leverage existing COMESA institutions, such as the COMESA Business Council, to increase intra-COMESA trade through private sector development. It is always important to synergize and capitalize on each other's strengths in targeted focus areas. The COMESA Secretariat and the CBC are closely working together on several.
Minister of Transport and Logistics, Frank Tayali, says the aviation industry plays a key catalytic and enabling role in the growth and development of the economy, and that it is important to address key issues that may affect the country in the development of this subsector. Mr. Tayali said the aviation subsector has undergone a major facelift with the new Dawn administration prioritizing the rehabilitation and development of airports, including strategic and provincial aerodromes for the industry to grow. He says it is evident by the huge investments that have been and continue to be injected into the sector, and that the upgrades will include the expansion of passenger terminals, fuel farms and fencing of all provincial airports, as well as cargo handling facilities in all the provincial airports and runway rights. The minister was speaking today when he launched the 8th Aviation Annual Stakeholders Forum at Pamodzi Hotel in Lusaka.
Transport and Logistics Minister Frank Tayali has officially launched the Zambia Airports Corporation Limited Strategic Plan for 2022 to 2026. Speaking during the launch, Mr. Tayali said the new Dawn government remains determined to investing in rehabilitation of airports and aerodromes across the country in a bid to grow the aviation subsector.
The aviation industry plays a key catalytic and enabling role in the growth and development of the economy, and it is imperative that we discuss and address key issues that may affect us in the development of this subsector. Ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, the aviation subsector has undergone a major facelift with the new Dawn administration prioritizing the rehabilitation and development of airports, including strategic and provincial aerodromes for the industry to grow. This is evident by the huge investments that have been and continue to be injected into the sector. The upgrades will include the expansion of passenger terminals, fuel farms, and fencing of all provincial airports, as well as cargo handling facilities in all the provincial airports and runway lights.
He says he's however not too pleased with the progress being made in the subsector as urgent response is not given to address some of the existing challenges around fuel and competition.
Last year when we met, 3 main issues came up. These were fuel, lounges, and competition. In our review of the progress reports, my office is not too happy with the progress that has been made in addressing some of these issues. We have carefully looked at the sector, and I am therefore directing as follows. Number 1, henceforth, the Zambia Civil Aviation Authority, as regulator, shall take lead in organizing and following up on matters or for the Aviation Stakeholders Forum. This will include any special issues that will require addressing rather than wait for an entire year to indicate progress.
And Zambia Airports Corporation Limited Board Chairperson Zevyanji Sinkala says the subsector is a key catalyst for other sectors that are major economic drivers.
As we all know, the aviation industry serves as a catalyst to numerous other sectors such as commerce, trade, tourism, and agriculture, which we have identified as pivotal drivers of growth. In this context, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the harmonization of efforts among all industry players is paramount, as it will play a pivotal role in propelling our sector forward and fostering national economic development in line with our government's 8th National Development Plan.
Daniel Chilema, Hope News, Lusaka.
Now, Zambia today joined the rest of the world in commemorating Food Safety Day. This was done when the Lusaka City Council, in conjunction with Ministry of Health and Zambia Police, commemorated this day under the theme Food Standards Save Lives. There was no better way to commemorate this day than meeting up with food handlers and marketeers in their trading areas to sensitize them on the need to safeguard what they give out to consumers. The team visited marketeers at Soweto BH Market to share with them the importance of cleanliness. Ministry of Health Chief Environmental Officer Doreen Sakala encouraged the traders to practice high-level hygiene standard in the marketplace. Mebo Chitimbiti gives us details in this report.
As Zambia joined the rest of the world in celebrating International Food Safety Day, Lusaka City Council, in conjunction with Ministry of Health, took some time to talk to traders at Soweto BH Market. The team took some time to interact with traders on hygiene standards.
It means nabena ngubaza kwala bali kudalya ero mamene vilili vakuja ineninga gure bondwe naenda napika na twala sometimes sinza kumbuka panwai sinza kumbuka ti bamake meri ye bali kudisa bondwe ipo amake meri na ino machoka chake kuiwo dapo sikuza ziva tibaja ba James na iwo dapuja samu.
This trader now explains what she learned.
Veto punzira kuti peme mutantikira pokazinkala clean ukayanzika kasaka wapyangapo paoneka clean nje pemene utantikapo tuzavichita tuzambochita
aho tapunzira ko tu pankani ya itini padoti aho kutoka zambo sama la potanti
Zambo sunga clean.
Zambo sunga pokoze clean taziba.
Pamene watantikira ufinga wapyangapo.
Wapyangapo elo sapitiza ndio pasaka zende pansi.
Kati zolekera che basikanso uti bazabwa batukilile. Manje tatengako kamozi uti kutyangako waunjikako kamozi. Tatengako chimozi.
Some marketeers who could not speak on camera narrated some of the challenges they face.
Ine ndire marketeer wa ku BH Soweto market, green market. Tigulisa ma vegetables. Tigulisa kwaitoke batiretera nkani ya udongo u cleanliness tima ufuna nice u cleanliness chifuka chakuti pava kudya paiponse pafunika u cleanliness but pempa ko nice kuti vaziti cleanira ko market ilina doti timalipira yotaira magabages but if magabages timazichosera takers vamene tigulisa ma sellers ma city councils sivaoneka pademu inangu batishe vidoti vapaka so ndechetipempako chabenye complaint yametiri nayo vasitichoserako doti yapaka.
Public Health Director had this to say.
Of 2018 does guide that every waste generator must put the waste in custody at the point of generation. So it is not expected of the council sweepers to begin to sweep at the time there is activity or the marketeers are working. Marketeers themselves must take responsibility to put the waste that they are generating at the point of generation to custody, having a small plastic bag or whatever vessel that they may have, and put it there close to them so that as they are knocking off, the council workers that are meant to sweep will pick the packaged waste and also sweep the remnant waste that is littered around.
This day was celebrated under the theme Food Standards Save Lives. Meboch Timbiti, Hope News in Lusaka.
Sincere apologies for that breaking picture, but we do hope that you've gotten the details in that particular story. Meanwhile, the Lusaka City Council, working together with the Ministry of Health and Rusangu University, today destroyed expired goods and alcohol confiscated from illegal traders, all valued at over 119,000 kwacha. Lusaka City Council Director of Public Health, Victor Kagoli, said his team and its partners acted in response to the directive from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to seize illegally sold alcohol from bus stops, graveyards and marketplaces. He said the expired goods and alcohol could not be taken to the refuel site directly, but had to be destroyed at the Department of Public Health before separation of liquid and solid waste. And this was in a bid to prevent the people that are getting stuff from the refuel site from accessing things that would be toxic to them. And Rusangu University Lusaka Campus Head of Environmental Health, Dr. Lilian Mutesu Silavwe, said that the disposal of expired products by the authority is important because it helps safeguard human health. Meanwhile, Ministry of Health Chief Environmental Officer Doreen Sakala said when food products are not in compliance with the Food Safety Act and food grants modulations, her ministry will take legal processes. You are watching the news on Hope Channel Zambia just now. Let's take a break. We have more stories on the other side. Do stay with us.
There is nothing quite like the thrill of catching your own fish. And at Papino Investments, we bring that experience to you. Papino Investments, the home of live fish, has everything you need to make your meals unforgettable.
It has a different taste, and that is why I enjoy coming to this place.
From live fish that you can catch for yourself to smoked fish, just chickens and beef, we have a wide range of products that will satisfy your shopping needs. And if you're looking for something else, we have a wide range of groceries to choose from, including Hope Channel decorders. At Papino Investments, payment is easy. You can pay with cash or use our mobile money services. Visit us today at Robert's Fish and Veggies Building, Chilenja Market, Lusaka, or call us at 0955 108708 or 0976 543822 or 0965 691909. Papino Investments, the home of live fish.
Ignite your June with Topstar. Catch the best of Chipolopolo, series plus many more for only 160 kwacha. Antenna Classic OD Smart. Witness Zambia's Chipolopolo senior team host the Elephants of Ivory Coast on the 17th of June at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in the crucial AFCON qualification match, live at 15 hours on World Football. On the same day, don't miss the must-watch Lesotho versus Comoros, live at 16 hours on Sports Life. and all the other CAF AFCON 2023 qualifiers from the 14th to the 20th of June on ST Sports channels. There is more. Continue to follow the best of series daily on Novella E+, and don't miss the premiere of the new Thai series The Wife on the 24th of June every day at 20:40 hours, plus all the latest of Indian movies and series. Subscribe now. Topstar. Enjoy digital life.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now for the rest of the news. Zambia is participating at the second session of the United Nations UN Habitat Assembly in Kenya with an affirmative call for global support to help developing nations deliver modern technologies and infrastructure to transform urban and rural areas into engines of growth. The assembly was officially opened by the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, under the theme A Sustainable Urban Future through Inclusive and Effective Multilateralism, Achieving the SDGs in Times of Global Crises. Zambia is being represented by Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, and Rural Development and Infrastructure Minister for Housing and Urban Development, Engineer Charles Milupi, MP. Mr. Nkombo stressed Zambia's call for technical support to developing nations in order to improve technology capacities like the internet and modern infrastructure in communities, which would spur development. And Housing and Urban Development Minister Honorable Milupi said Zambia is implementing a national housing policy in order to facilitate decent and affordable housing units to meet the current housing deficit, estimated at 1.5 million. This is contained in a statement issued by Chila Namaiko, the Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Summit or assembly, we have been joined by many world leaders who are dealing with the theme Sustainable Urban Future through Inclusive and Effective Multilateralism, Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in Times of Global Crisis. The theme, as a matter of fact, does resonate with the endeavors of Zambia to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, especially goal number 11, which is aimed at making cities and human settlements not only inclusive but safe as well as sustainable. We have given a report to the summit. We have given a report and given a status of the milestones that Zambia has set for itself, as well as achievements towards making cities and human settlements safe and inclusive. And some of the things that we shared here is the mainstreaming of the new urban agenda and the Sustainable Development Goal number 8, which we have achieved as a country at 80% and also embedded in the 8th National Development Plan. We have also given a report on the development of the policy whose vision is prosperous, inclusive and resilient urban settlements. In terms of what we expect the global community to do for us is that we are to get support in developing clear strategies of fostering global and regional synergies and addressing the urban challenges, ever-growing urban drift and unplanned settlements.
It's a human right. The United Nations have termed it as a human right. In fact, housing is second only to food in terms of the requirement for our population. So it is important that the government interacts with other parties, other states, to learn what they have done in terms of impacting positively on the need to house our population. As you know, in Zambia we have a housing deficit at the moment. We talk about the 1.5 million units deficit, which by 2030 it will rise to 3 million. Globally, we also have an issue of those who are housed in slums. And Zambia is one of those. But globally we have 1 billion people that are housed in slums, and there is need to upgrade those slums. And we think that by 2030, if nothing is done, the figures we get out of the United Nations through a conference like this figure will rise to 6 billion.
ZESCO Managing Director Victor Mapani says ZESCO has a huge responsibility and it must be in excellent form for productivity as well as the growth of the nation. He said for ZESCO, technology is a necessity for guidance in business processes and to transform the corporation into the digital age. He added that from 2022, ZESCO has embarked on the digital transformation journey that also includes payroll system. Mr. Mapani said the payroll system covers different services, with the main aim being the need to deliver standard service to the people of Zambia. He was speaking during the ZESCO digital transformation launch in Lusaka today.
Technology has no boundaries. We have initiatives which are cutting across the corporation and giving out value to customers, to ourselves in ZESCO, and also it's brought in a lot of visibility. You know, leadership now is able to have the data, you know, from anywhere. You know, we do have initiatives like Corporate Leadership Board. It's a dashboard, and I think in the earlier days, the leadership would announce different numbers for backlog, you know, or maybe they'll talk about a certain figure in the morning. By afternoon, that figure would have changed, so they remain with the figure which they had in the morning. But now, what the new innovation has done, the new system which we've given corporate leadership, data is online and it's real time. So from their phones, they're able to check the changes as they are.
Now, in religious matters, North Zambia Food will continue operating as a food for a seeable future following a resolution made at the Mid-Year Southern Indian Ocean Division SID Executive Committee EXCOM meeting held in Pretoria, South Africa last month. This follows after 2 attempts to fill positions of conference president and executive secretary failed when the feud was to be upgraded to conference status. Northern Zambia Union Conference President Dr. Tommy Namitondo confirmed the development during the Mid-Year Union EXCOM in Kabwe today. Dr. Namitondo said the union welcomes the decision by SID and that they have since elected top 3 officers who will run the affairs of the feud until further guidance is given. He named Pastor Afedi Siame as president and Pastor Frezia Chisha as executive secretary, while Pastor Elijah Moyo will serve as chief financial officer, CFO. Dr. Namitondo says as per Seventh-day Adventist policy, the proceedings will further be deliberated to appoint directors.
We had several discussions, and one of the discussions was on the matter of North Zambia Field, where an attempt has been made twice to turn them into a conference, but it couldn't work out. And the decision was then made by the SID, which is Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division, to allow them to remain as a field, meanwhile, when issues are still being sorted out. And that decision has been noted and accepted by Northern Zambia Union Conference, and proceeded to elect officers there according to the policy of the Seventh-day Adventists. Officers that have been elected to run the affairs of the field to further notice when it will be reviewed again that the president is Pastor Afet Siame, the executive secretary is Fraser Chisha, and then the chief financial officer is Elijah Moyo. So those are the latest things that have happened in this executive committee for Northern Zambia Union, and that I think that was the major thing that is happening. So we are waiting to now go to the constituency that they choose directed, but this item, news item, carries the official statement that has happened.
That item brings us to the end of the bulletin, but before we go, let's recap on stories that made headlines. Government committed to economic and social transformation agenda. Public health experts spend time with marketeers to commemorate Food Safety Day. Expired goods and alcohol confiscated from illegal traders destroyed at a value of over 119,000 kwacha. And finally, North Zambia field to continue operating as a field when attempts to upgrade the field to a conference status. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Bright SINKOZI on behalf of the entire studio and production team, not forgetting the newsroom and our correspondents across the country. Sharon AKUFUNA has been our sign language interpreter. God bless you as you keep watching Hope Channel Zambia television that changes lives. From all of us, it's bye for now.